Okay. Let's see, we're now live. Oh, and let me just fix a couple of things. I'm going to remove this. Yes, because I want to be able to see the whole screen. And there we go. So this is what we're doing today. We are flying from Lynn Lake to Churchill with the alternate of Gillam, which is really interesting because it has IFR approaches, but it's a dirt runway, so not really hoping to go to a diversion, but I kind of hope in a way, if you know what I mean. Now we're continuing this on FS economy, and I have 3 passengers and priority freight of 52 kilograms. So as you can see, 2 of these passengers are fuel oil, which is kind of funny, but there you go. So here we are. Let's start this, which I can do on both my iPad and the simulator. So here we are. Cool. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you was the dispatch. So here we go. We've got dispatch. The one I have on the iPad, second iPad, is very similar to this with a few minor differences. But essentially, the story is I need to bring maximum fuel, and I'm going to be an MTOM takeoff. This will be maximum takeoff weight. So there you go, maximum amount of fuel, and so I can't carry any extra. If I scroll down a little bit, thankfully it's a direct route. Okay, so they do mention the VORs or NDBs or something, but it's just essentially the same thing. And I have all this on my iPad. So here we got 3 passengers, which is what we were actually going to get. I don't know how to change that in SimBrief. It just randomizes it on SimBrief. So I had to manually write these and calculate these, but this one is pretty accurate. 54 kilograms of cargo is about 230 pounds. So I did add that into it, and as you can see, we're overweight. So I had to actually do the calculations myself. And yeah, we're a few pounds overweight, so in reality this would be a no-go unless I ditched the cargo. So I'd have to ditch the cargo and we'd be fine. I just removed about 5 gallons of fuel, and we'll just pretend that the cargo's in there. Not a big difference for a flight simulator. Of course, it'd be a big no-no in real life. And here is the route, so you can see pretty much direct. What we need to really concentrate on is this, right, which is all we really ultimately care about, these bits here. Okay, and the winds information, quite interesting, very cold, and so forth. And that's a flight plan, but what I wanted to show you was this. There you go, the weather. And this is the interesting stuff. Look at this, automated 19 knots, gusting 30, 9 statute mile visibility. That's a great improvement from last time. Light snow, few 2,800, minus 16, and visibility 3,000. Now, don't know what A means again. I need to learn these METARs and TAFs for Canada. I'm just used to the European ones. And it says remark pressure SLP 195. Again, not sure what that means. But yeah, either way, departure will be interesting, and so will the arrival. Look at this, 29 gusting 36. Thankfully, right down the runway, but it's still going to be a challenge. But look at this, 1/8 of a statute mile visibility, RVR 330, 6,000 feet. It's going to be intense. Heavy blowing snow, vertical visibility 1,400, minus 10 degrees. Basically, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun approach, is what it is. In terms of NOTAMs, nothing of significance to us. And of course, if I go ahead and I didn't even bother checking that spine, but I wasn't too bothered because here's Canada. This is where we're going to be flying, and there's nothing, right? So that's why I didn't even bother, because I knew there'd be nothing. We're in a very remote part of Canada. Cool. So with that brief, let's go ahead and start filing the flight plan. So we're coming from CYYL to CYYQ, and our alternate is CYGX. Okay, we have full fuel, so the fuel endurance is going to be 4 hours roughly, we'll say. I don't know what the exact endurance is. Flight level 350, cruise speed 250 as well, and departure time is going to be 22. We'll make it 30. I think that's a pretty accurate time. Route, right, so it's pretty much direct, so we'll just write direct, even though our dispatch likes to give us a bunch of extra VORs to go through. We don't really need that. I'll file a flight plan here. Make sure we got everything though. IFR, blah 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 blah. File. Not connected to network. It would help. Okay, flight plan. All the same. File flight plan. Cool. So, it also means it'll be easier for us to load it on the FMC or the G1000. Speaking of the G1000, remember last time, probably not, but last time I had problems with battery life. Problem fixed. It's the typical FSX P3D battery life issue. So, I made the battery life infinite, which is a bit of a pain, but we can deal with that. Right, so I learned a little bit more about the Mustang, and I still have a lot more to learn. However, I am getting used to it. So let's go ahead and start doing these. I'm going to go ahead and open the left panel switch. Left gen, we'll leave it on. Back, we'll do emergency. Make sure all the emergency bus items are working, which they are. Turn it off, turn it on. So avionics, we'll leave it off. Standby instruments, test. Green light, cool. We'll leave it 5 seconds, and standby, turn them on. Happy days. Avionics power, turn them on. Ignition, leave as normal. Fuel transfer off. Fuel, these are off. We'll turn the boots on in a second. All these will leave off for now. This should be off. These are all off again. Test this. Don't know if it's working. Cool. We're then going to move across here, so that'll be the gear and lighting. We're going to turn on the beacon because we'll be using that in a bit. Put this on, into seat belt. Then we'll go ahead and make sure the anti-skid is on. Panel, let's give us some light. Displays as well. Okay, fair enough. Let's turn them down a wee bit. There you go, it's a bit better. Cool. Then we're going to go to the right side. Boom. Cool. So, cockpit temperature, let's make it warm. We've got passengers today, so we'll make it also a little bit warmer. There you go. Cockpit fan, we'll leave it on. Air conditioning, we'll leave it off, as they are. So, we're going to test these. So, oh wait, we can't do that until we actually start the engine. Oops. We can test this by leaving it on for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it off. An oxygen mask, make sure that's on the headset. We leave that in. Close it. And then we move on to this guy here, which is testing all the systems. So, fire warning, landing gear, cabin out. Yeah, cool. Let's move this aside, thank you. Stall, that's fine. Flaps fail, so we're testing all these overspeed. Cool. That's a pain in the ass finding these. There you go, put it here. Anti-skid, failure. Don't know what that's meant to do. So, oh well. Annunciator, so just make sure all the annunciator lights are working. Spare, again, not sure. Oh, spare. Okay, I guess it means there's nothing there. Cool. So that works. Excellent. Then we're going to move down to this guy here. Oxygen control. We'll leave that as it is. Cool. So that's the starter flow check complete. So cockpit preparation, pre-flight inspections complete. Cabin door, ensure that's closed. So we can do is go to the auxiliary panel. These are all closed, and we don't need any of these. Cool. Now the other thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead turn this on. We'll get heavier, and fantastic. We don't even need to reset the fuel, it does it for us. Cool. So, we got slightly more than we need, I believe, because we need 2.5. Let's see. We actually need 2.6, so we're slightly below. But that's okay, because we're hopefully not going to go to the alternate despite the weather. Cabin complete, beacon light is on, we checked, air conditioning is off, ECAS check, cool. That's fine, these are all warnings we expect, and battery voltage, check. Cool, so let's get the left panel switch on. Starting engines, engine button start. So, and let's get the throttle up as well. Oh, that's a big throttle. Right, I made it weird. I don't know why these are also translucent, but anyways. So engine start, let's try it with the left first. So press, or not. Okay. Would it help if I do this? But got to turn on the left ignition. No. Don't know why it's not working. Let's try here. Why isn't it working? Not a good start. Engine start button, press. Why aren't you pressing? Ah, jeez. Jeez Louise, right, let's go to left panel again. These are working, this is on, avionics on. Start disengage. Is the engine already running? It's not lighting. Hold on. The engines are already running. Huh. I wonder why it did that. Didn't even realize. Okay, so the engines are running, so we don't need to do all the checks? Okay. Well, that was silly of me. Next time I'll make sure that we can start the simulator with the engines off. Let's do that. Maybe if I turned up the volume on my headphones, I would have heard them. And if I had actual people watching, they would have yelled at me. Alright, let's see. So this engine starts are complete before taxi checks. Let's do that. Exterior lights switch as required. So, gear and lighting. Well, we're going to need to turn on recognition light, nav light, wing inspection. Check. Okay. Pack safety switch on seat belt. Windshield anti-ice as required. Well, let's see. That's on the left one, isn't it? So, windshield. Let's just turn these on. And press continuous switch. Pressure continuous switch. On continuous. So, I'm going to pretend I know what that means. I don't. So as I said, I'm still learning this aircraft. Hopefully that's fine. Cockpit cabin temperature knobs as desired. Cockpit cabin fans as desired. Air conditioning as desired. Let's leave that as it is. Air source select. Make sure that's on both, which it is. Right. Not here. Here. Air source on both. Electric elevator. Check and set. So don't mind if I do. Cool. It works. And it's on takeoff. Okay. Air conditioning as desired. Air select both. Electric elevator. Flight controls. That's free and control. Free and correct. And that's when I realized I did not clamp my yoke down. I usually remove it for gaming because it gets in the way of the keyboard. So let's clamp the yoke down. That's why we check these things. 1 second, guys. I say guys as if someone's actually watching. I am making very conspicuous noises, aren't I? Okay. There you go. And now spin till it locks into position, please. And locked. Brilliant. Okay, with that done. Controls free and correct. Flaps are set as required. Speed brakes. So, check that they extend. Speed brakes extended. Speed brakes retracted. Sorry. Avionics setup and charts. So let's go ahead and do this now. Right. Where's the MFD? There it is. This guy. Here it is. Get rid of this boy. And let's do it nice and simple because we do spin. Nope, wrong spin. Spin. And we're going to CYYG. CYY. Q, sorry. That's why we check. Q. And enter twice. That's all it is. Excellent. Get the autopilot panel up. That was hard. And let's set altitude, well, flight level 350, which is going to climb straight up, I think. We still need to review the departure plate. Okay, avionics setup and charts. So let's do that then. Lake Lynn, let's grab the departure plate, which I have on the iPad here. I will temporarily show it to you here. In fact, I'll just show it to you here. Let's see. There you go. It's right here. So, we're using... well, let's do a proper brief today. Okay? Today we're departing from... oh, see, I'm doing things in the wrong order. I am rushing things and doing them in the wrong order. Let's go procedure. No, not procedure. Let's go to menu. All references on. Okay? And these are all correct. Okay, excellent. So these are all set. Now let's do a departure brief, a proper one. So, today we're departing from Lynn Lake using runway 35. We have strong winds today, which are thankfully mostly down the runway. However, they are gusting, so let's keep a lookout. On the takeoff roll, V1 and VR are 91 knots. We will then climb at 150 knots. Once we've got a positive climb, we'll get the gear up, and after gear up, we will ensure we have flaps up before reaching 180 knots. Okay. In the case of an engine failure or any sort of emergencies prior to takeoff, we will just abort the takeoff prior to V1. Heading after V1, we will fly straight ahead, continue climbing to at least altitude... getting a blank here. What's the safety here? I believe it was quite low, so we'll do altitude 5,000 feet. But I will check with some of the other charts. Yeah. So we'll climb up to 5,000 feet, stay within the area, fix the problem, and if necessary, come back to land on the runway. Okay. The departure itself. Departure from runway 35. We're using the Jepson chart 10-9 effective on the 2nd of March for Lynn Lake and runway 35. Frequencies are irrelevant as we won't be using them. Departure from runway 35. Required minimum climb gradient is of 260 feet per nautical mile up to 1,400 feet. The climb is visual over the airport to 1,700 feet before proceeding on course. Okay. So the requirements. Basically, we'll climb straight ahead to 1,700 feet before we will intercept the route direct to Churchill. So departure climb rate. So if our ground speed is 150 knots, we'll need at least 700 feet per minute climb rate, which I think we can achieve even on a single engine. So it should be fine. And no frost heaves during spring thaw, so that's something that we don't need to worry about as it is in spring. Caution frost heaves first 1200 feet of runway 17 November and April. That's fine as well. A bit of a mess of a brief, but it gave us what we needed. So there you go. Normally you plan these things a little bit further ahead of time. So we got this done. And really I should have waited a bit longer for turning on the taxi lights, but whatever, that's set. Right, so barometrics, lazy, set. Takeoff data, set. And destination field elevation, not set. So let's go ahead. I think we forgot to do this last time. No, we forgot to do the minimums, which wasn't good. Right, this destination elevation field. So, sorry to keep hitting the mic here. Destination field, Churchill. Airport information is 96, so 100 feet. Nope, not doing it. There you go. 100 feet. Set. Okay. And all we need is a GPS set here. Great. Alright. And we're going to put... Oh. Hold on. I just made a mistake. That's okay. On my laminated checklist. I'll survive. Alright. So we're going to put heading on, and we're going to take off runway 35. So if I close Churchill charts and go back to Lynn Lake, I'm using my iPad here. Runway heading is 352. So 353, close enough. Let's put 352. Excellent. Cool, so let's go ahead and start taxiing. Because taxi checks brakes, nose wheel steering, flight instruments, and beacon light on. CAS messages, none except for the pitot heat. So that's the before taxi checklist complete. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And let's start taxiing. I'm going to taxi this way to clear the building. Let's go. Oh, no, don't do this. Jeez, can't see anything. Alright, here goes. Alright, so taxiing onto runway 35. We're going to have to backtrack because the only reason we can use the fast data is because we need a runway that's over 5,000 feet long. This runway is 5,003 feet long. So there's that. Okay. Come to a stop at the holding point. Cool. And check the time. 22:28 is the brakes off time. I'm going to quickly put the brakes on here. Okay. And forgot a piece of paper, so quickly grab a sheet. There you go. Alright. Brakes off. 22:27. Excellent. So that's set. Now let's continue with the checks. Before takeoff checks. Engine speed 70 N2. This is basically power checks. Right, so N2. 70%. Let's make sure the throttle is synchronized. That's something that should have been done on the before takeoff flow. Oh, there you go. Roughly 70%, that'll do. Check. Left and right engine anti-ice switches. So, left switches, left and right engine anti-ice switches on. Left and right anti. So basically I think we're just making sure that we get a bit of a power loss? I don't know. On. So, which obviously isn't realistic. Wing stab de-ice, switch auto, verify de-ice, no fail messages. Check. Wing stab de-ice off. Throttles idle. Okay, so that was the de-ice checks. I need to read more into why. I need to check the anti-ice switches and what I'm looking for. Okay, pitot switch, pitot static switch. So reset and off. Okay. Okay, standby instrument switches test then on. So that's what I should have done in the beginning. But I did. That's what I did in the beginning. Should have done later. Air source select knob. Both. So left, right, both. Check. Cool. Flaps set for takeoff. Check. Trim set for takeoff. Check. And transponder ground. Right. I don't know why we're checking that, but we'll check it. Let's turn this off. Transponder is on ground. Check. And quickly talk about transponder 2000. Cool. Right, so that is, and then display avionics nav system setup. Yep, I just have to figure out how to press the go around button. Nope, no, 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 no. Oh, for the love of God. Okay. That never happened. Right, I don't know how to press the go around button. I'll figure that out at some point. I guess I can't do it. So we'll just leave it at that. Pitot static switch, we'll leave it at pitot static, so I can turn it on now. Cool. Speed brakes retracted. We'll check. Okay, assume that's done. Don't see anything on the CAS. Wait, I'm skipping stuff. Anti-ice de-icing systems on. Auto. That's below the line, by the way. Pack safety. Right. Where's right? Pack safety switch. Nope. Not here. Right. Left. No, of course, it's in the lights. That's where the pack is. Cool. So that says probably that the seatbelt light's on. Landing switch on. Why did I turn this off? Landing light switch. Landing. Speed brakes retracted. Anti-collision lights on. And ECAS check. Cool. So, I did not follow the checklist in order, which is not a good thing. So let's go check the time again. It is now 22:33, so I'm going to add 2 minutes to that. 22:35 as our takeoff time. Let's do it. Taxi to the very end of the runway. Entering the runway, ATPL, the approach will seem as clear, transponder is an automated one, time we've written down, pitot is on, lights checked. Cool. So we're going to use up every inch of this runway as we possibly can. Now the landing gear is quite wide and quite far behind CG, so let's make sure not to get too close to the edge of the runway. Okay, and I know this aircraft's meant to have quite a tight turn radius, so we'll test that out. Alright, here it goes. Every last inch of this runway. And turn. Oh, look at that. pretty good. Alright. Damn, not perfect enough. That'll do. Excellent. Okay. Okay, so we got we'll assume clearance and 2235. That's perfect. Let's go ahead and take off. So 1,700 feet before making a right turn. I don't know how to do the toga switch. Where's toga? Nope. No toga. Oh, there it is. Excellent. I did it. Okay. 60 knots. AT. And rotate. Come on. Up you come. That's a heavy boy. Positive climb. Gear up. Okay, I know it's meant to be visual, but whatever. Okay, approaching. Ooh, what happened there? Okay, never mind. Oh, another one. Okay, good. 500 feet above. Flaps up selected. 1,700. Let's go ahead and start turning. So, where is the autopilot nav? Heading. Here we go. Excellent. Let's put the yaw dampener on. Weather seems to have drastically improved here. So, nav is armed. And excellent. Brilliant. Okay. Let's go ahead and engage the autopilot in a second. If I can find it, I always struggle finding the autopilot. There it is. Okay, it's in GPS mode, AP, yaw dampener, and holding pitch. Excellent. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to VS mode. Sorry, not VS mode, that's a terrible idea. Flight level mode, there you go. And we'll climb at 160 knots. There you go. Okay. With that done, after takeoff checks. Okay. Climb checklist. Landing gear handle up, check. Flap handle up, check. Throttles, climb detent. Ooh, I forgot to do that. Climb set. Yaw dampener on, check. Anti and de-icing systems as required. What's the outside air temperature? 18, so we'll leave them as they are. Packs safety as required. Let's wait a little bit more before we turn it off. Landing light. Okay, landing light. So, gear and lighting. We can turn that off. Check. Pressurization. Good. Check. And altimeter is standard set. That's once we pass flight level 180 here, so let's just keep it at that. Okay, we're flying fine here. Okay, so that's the climb checklist complete. Except for the altimeters, which we'll check in a second. Excellent, so that was our climb. Time to share this flight on social media, because why not? Right. Okay, not bad at all. Let's keep this open. This guy, we can close him, I think. Let's keep a close eye on what this is doing. Okay. Alright, we got one viewer. That's good. I haven't even shared it yet. One extra viewer, I made sure. Not myself. Okay, we're climbing 160, 12,000 feet. Looking good. Then let's share it. Excellent. Okay. Okay, we're approaching flight level 180. Let's go ahead and set things to standard. Excellent. Now, we may struggle getting to flight level 350, but that's okay. Okay. Not bad. So I've shared this on a few groups. We'll see how things go. It'd be cool just to get one viewer. If I get one viewer, please say hi. It would be nice to know that someone's actually watching. I don't think, though, that would be the case. Alright. Okay. So that was actually a pretty smooth departure with a few hiccups. One being trying to faff with the go around button on takeoff, and the other one was turning on the nav mode and not changing the heading mode first. But other than that, I flew the aircraft, kept it safe. Something that would have been more realistic as well would have been to set up the ILS or something in case of the expected engine failure I described, unexpected engine failure I described. But of course, this is Flight Simulator, so I really don't expect it to happen. I don't think this has got a failure model integrated into it. It's a fantastic flight model. The only thing that really bugs me about it is that there's no VNAV. VNAV would be fantastic. Right, so temperatures are below 30 degrees, so I have to turn off some of the systems. So, let's go to, I think engine anti-ice, and these. Cool, and let's go ahead and open the dispatch sheet, which there's a fuel sheet and all sorts of stuff. Actual takeoff time 35. Okay. Estimate fuel on board on takeoff was 2.4, 2.5 actually, so 2.5, brilliant. Okay. And on takeoff we should have used 0.2, which we did. We used 0.3, so we used a little bit more. So let's write that down. 0.3. Cool. So the next check is going to be Yankee Lima, which we're gone over. So 2.5, 0.3, safe. Right, next, top of climb, we should have used 500 pounds of fuel, so we should be at approximately 2.0 to 1.9 total. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how much we're actually burning in comparison. And how long is it going to take us to get there? 45 minutes. So the other thing I was thinking of doing, because this is going to take us another 10 minutes, so let's maybe increase our rate of climb by climbing at 150 knots. There you go, like that. We'll still be a safe airspeed. And while we do this, we'll climb a wee bit faster. A normal descent rate, as it turns out, is 2,000 feet per minute. So that's good to know as well. I think we're going to have to start descending pretty much as soon as we reach the top of climb, which is what I'm realizing right now, because we're meant to use... Yeah, that's exactly it. Right, no worries. We can do the calculation anyway, the traditional calculation. We're going to be from flight level 350 to altitude 1,600 feet. So that, let's call it 2,000, let's call it 1,000 feet. So we need to send 34,000 feet. So we need to send 100 nautical miles before, which is quite significant, especially considering we have, how much do we have left? 200. So in 100 miles, we're going to start descending again. Cool. Alright. Okay. Let's see how we're doing with fuel. Right, we're not doing too bad. I think we may be able to reach the cruise altitude with sufficient fuel. The other thing is that it's going to take us ages to get up there. Excellent. So we did have a few visitors. That's kind of cool. They did leave in a hurry though, which is disappointing. People, please stay on the please stay in the video. Right. I can't blame them though. Actually, we're not doing too bad. 29,000 feet. At this rate, we'll be there in about 4 minutes. And let's see, what's our fuel burn? Yeah, we'll actually have extra fuel on board. Not bad. So, let's see. How much fuel do we need to burn to be able to land? We need to burn... We need to burn at least 600 pounds. And so far we've burned 400, so that's good. Always make sure. Okay, so 5 minutes away from reaching top of climb. The fuel burn's looking good. Now, we're reaching top of climb. However, I do want to check something. Yeah, this airport doesn't have radios. One thing though is the nav should be on 1228, which it is. Good. There's no ATIS at Churchill, so I'm gonna cheat. I could use Active Sky. What I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and one of my apps on my phone. It's called Aero Weather, and it's great. It's a fantastic app. We can add C510. See if that exists in this, because it's an app mostly designed for Europe. C510. Yeah, look at that. It's here. Line IFR weather. Let's see. Winds 330, 33 gusting 41, quarter mile visibility. RVR for runway 33, 4,500 feet. Variable up to 6,000 feet. Light snow but heavy blowing snow. BLSN. I don't know what that is. Vertical visibility 1,100. Temperature minus 12. A2972. Is that the QNH? Altimeter 2972. Right, yeah, so the Canadians use a similar system as the Americans. Watch our speed. What happened here? Okay. No, let's not stall. Let's not stall. Oh dear. Right, that's why you gotta keep watching the autopilot. I forgot 31,000 feet, it changes to Mach numbers. So let's start at this. Have it accelerate slightly. There you go. And then slow it down to 0.38, nice and gently. We're still climbing. Okay, so 4-1. Right, just leave it there for now, 0.40. Gentle climb. Let's not stall. Oof, good thing I caught that. Right. So, 2972, that's what the A stands for, altimeter. Okay. Remarks BLSN 8, press RR SLP 061. Let's see if we can decode this. Light snow, heavy blowing snow, that's what it meant. I was right about that. Pressure 106 hectopascals. Excellent! The decoding also converts to hectopascals. BLSN 8, press RR 8, and SLP 068 though, those aren't converted, so no clue what that means. RVR is variable between 1370 to 1820 meters. Right. Cool. No worries. Be happy. Let's watch this carefully. Okay. So we're going to be just on the limit, and I thought we were going to be good. But no, we're not. Okay, 1,000 feet to go. Check. Okay. 2061, that's fine. Let's get ready to get the autopilot. How about we just leave it here, eh? Alright, it's below 130, so let's get the nose down in a sec. I think we can get it to 120 quite safely, however, why risk it? Be there in 1 minute. Okay, 10 pounds of fuel in about a minute, so I think we'll be fine. And I love it how the transponder actually turns on this. Beautiful. Absolutely perfect. Okay, approaching, 200 feet to go. And it's changing onto altitude hold. So let's have it accelerate, and then we're going to go into the cruise detent. It would be cool if I could do this. Yeah. And this. Excellent. Alright, let's let it accelerate a wee bit more. 140 knots indicated before we go ahead and go into the cruise detent. And 20.0, so we're on track in terms of fuel. 20.0, so let's go ahead, or 2.0 rather. 2.0. 0.6, cool. Or in our case 0.5. Cool. Okay, so we're going to be approaching the top of climb in not very long. And 150 knots, let's go ahead and get that into the cruise detent. Cool. Right. So 100 knots before, we'll start a descent of 2,000 feet per minute. Down to an altitude. So let's start preparing, since we're going to approach quite soon. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the flight plan oh, there's no flight plan. Okay. No, why did you do that? I really should have done it in the flight plan, shouldn't I? Not in the flight plan then, I'll just do a direct to Verco, which is the initial fix. But not quite yet. Okay. So once I start the descent, let's say we're approximately 20 miles out or something. Actually, let's make a little bit more than that. Let's say 30 miles out, because Verco is wow. What's Verco? .6 miles out. Cool. In the meantime, though, we can prepare for the approach. So we're not going to bother with the DME arc, although that would be really fun to fly, I have to admit. Just doesn't make sense, because we're not coming from the right area. What we'll do instead, we'll set on nav1 the frequency 110.3. So nav1 110.3. Cool. Now it's not detected yet, and it won't for a while. It won't be for a little while. However, it's there. What else do we have? We've got Churchill 114.1, so let's put that on nav2. 114.1. Okay. So that is Yankee Yankee Quebec, which is identified. That's good. And then we can put on the DME, or the ADF, sorry, we can put 305. Alright, let's do it. 305. And that, my friends, is Yankee Quebec. which we would have to identify if we actually detected it. PFD, bearing 2. See, can't detect it quite yet. DME, put DME for nav 1, 110.3. And back. I'll do nicely because the DME is for nav 1. Cool. Right, so we have it all set up for now. The final approach course will be 335, and this, my friends, should have been there for a long time now. My apologies. So it'll be 335, so let's remember that. In fact, looking at this, it would make sense to do the DME arc, wouldn't it? Let's load that procedure in. Select approach. ILS 33. And Nudix is the initial approach fix. Yeah, let's do the DME arc. That'll be fun. I can't load it, so I'd have to activate it. Hoi hoi. Right. Alright, let's load the stupid thing. Lesson learnt. Always load it here. Don't be lazy. And CYYQ. Let's watch quickly the distance because we may need to descend soon. Yeah. See. So. Enter. Okay. Done. So with that done, we shouldn't have an issue now. To go here and load the procedure. Load. Boom. Sorted. Yeah. So that's it. Cool, so we've loaded the procedure. So we will do the DME arc, and it's DME arc from Churchill. So, we're going to go ahead, PFD, bearing 2, nav 2. Boom, perfect. I'm going to put 115.4 as a backup on nav 1. 115.4. Cool. Excellent. So now, we can, in a second, start to... Oh, I didn't check the pressurization. How's that going? Cabin altitude 8.3, oof. 8.4. That's just above the limit. 8.3 is the limit. I hope that's not going to be an issue. Okay. In any case, descent checklist, pressurization, verify destination elevation. So 100 has been set. Anti-icing system as required. We'll leave it off for now. Throttles as required. Altimeters set transition altitude. Okay, and landing data set and verified. Right. Let's go ahead and set the minimums. Is everything okay? We're having some sort of problem here. What's the issue? We're losing power. Okay, it's stabilized. Barrow. Cool. Minimums for the ILS is going to be 330. Set. Okay, that's odd. That's very odd. Right, it's time to start the descent. So, altitude select. 1,600 is what we need. And I will eventually get it. There you go. VS mode. Down. 2,000 feet per minute. And let's reduce the power. Okay, descent checklist. Power idle. So anti-de-icing, we'll leave it as it is. Throttles is required. Altimeters set. Landing data set and verify. Landing switch is required. Okay, so descent checklist complete for now. Let's keep an eye on the airspeed as we descend at 2,000 feet per minute. Okay. So when we get to... How far away are we on the DME arc? We'll need to set nav to... Oh, there it is. Perfect. DME arc is 16.1. Okay. So let's start doing the brief now then. Okay, so we're using the chart. Let's go here. Here. 11-1, effective on the 30th of June 2017 for ILS runway 33 at Churchill. ILS 110.3 not identified yet. Approach course 335 not set yet. Our checkpoint will be Pusod, which is 1390 feet, where we should be at, and decision altitude 323 feet. Airport elevation 100 feet, and MSA is 1,600 feet. In case of missed approach, we'll climb straight ahead to 1,400 feet, runway heading, then make a right turn direct to Yankee, Quebec, NDB, which is set and not identified yet. Transition level, flight level 180, transition altitude 18,000 feet. So, we'll be doing a DME arc, Nudix, to Verco. It's the 114.1 Yankee, Quebec VOR, DME arc of 16.1. This is set and identified on nav2. And it will be on the radio 219er. We'll maintain the DME arc until we intercept the localizer at DME distance 15.6 of India, Yankee, Quebec. And the intercept will be at 1,400 feet. We will commence the descent once roughly halfway through the DME arc. Okay, this is a 3-degree descent, so if we're going to be going at 120 knots, we're expecting about 650 feet. SSALR, I'm not sure what type of approach lighting systems that is, but that's what's available. ILS DME RVR 50 or 1. Not sure what that means. So, if I can see it, I can see it. If not, I'll go around. Okay. So a lot to learn, really, because there are quite a few things I don't know. So let's go back to the aircraft, make sure we're not crashing. And just continue the descent. Excellent. Wow, minus 42 degrees Celsius. That's crazy. I'm going to go ahead. It's too cold anyways for the boots, so we can leave those off for now. I forgot to turn off the seat belts off. Okay, actually, let's put it here. And we can soon do the approach checklist. What's our distance? 74 miles. Okay, so we can wait a little bit longer. However, we can start doing the approach checklists. Landing data is set. which we've checked. Avionics and flight instruments, check. Right, they're all set as we need. Minimums has been set. Check. Pack safety switch. We'll turn that back on. Sorry guys. Not very responsible, is it? Right. Oh god, it's confusing the hell out of my rich passengers. Fuel transfer knob. Right, make sure that's off. Which it should be. Off. Check. Anti-ice and de-icing systems. We'll leave them as they are for the moment. Anti-skid switch on. Check. Landing light switch on. Not quite yet. CAS messages checked. Flaps takeoff approach. Okay. We'll set that once we get there. So, a few items to complete in there. But otherwise we're doing quite well. Okay, so we're soon approaching transition altitude. And the QNH was 1006 last I checked. Yep, still 1006. 1008 now. And the winds are now 35, gusting 43. Visibility 400 meters, vertical visibility 1300 feet. Don't actually know if I'll be able to land. We're going to have to do the illegal and land despite the fact that we're going to be below minimums. We'll survive. Okay. Right, this is going to be a really challenging approach. Oh dear. Alright. There it is, Nudix, right there. Cool. Let's wait a little bit longer. Say once we're past. I think we can slow down our descent actually. However, let's leave it as it is for now. Okay, 18, fly level 180. Okay, so let's change that. 108. Okay. Right, I have a feeling we are going to reach a lower altitude way earlier than that. So let's slow down our descent rate. See what happens for now, eh? Okay. This is gonna be intense. Let's see how we're doing. Is that the top of the descent? I don't know what that is. I think it's the top of the descent. But top of the descent, end of the descent. But anyways. Alright. Is it bottom of descent? I don't know. But anyways, bottom of descent. Bod. Okay. So here I am. Not too far out. I am below, I'd say I'm definitely now in lower airspace, so might as well. Procedure. Approach. Activate. Boom. Excellent. Right, so we're now making our way to Nudix. We still haven't identified the ILS. Let's go ahead and center the heading bug after this. And after we're done, we're going to need to change the CDI to nav1. Okay. Excellent. Now look at this, bang on. Excellent. Okay. So we're going to leave it on autopilot, even though it would be fun to fly it manually, because I want to try and do the checklists properly. Let's check pressurization. Look at that, 3.8 psi. Excellent. Can I set this here, like this, get this here, like this? Yeah, that's good. I will do this in the meantime. Okay. Okay, so we're below 10,000 feet, so landing light on. Really can't do this, can I? Right. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on our the icing systems because it's hotter than -30 and we're about to go into visible moisture. So, left panel on, 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 or auto rather. Cool. So idle power descent works quite well. That's good to know. Okay, that's great and all, but I didn't even know I was trying to listening to it more. What am I listening to? Nav 1. Okay, it's identified. Well, let's make the most of it and identify the ADF. Okay, that's identified. Excellent. So those are set and identified. Brilliant. I don't know if he'll follow the arc properly. We're now in the clouds, aren't we? Oh, we're about to be. Right. 5,000 feet. Hopefully, this thing follows the arc properly. It does. Excellent. Very impressed. Okay. Let's go ahead and increase the descent rate a little bit more so that we can reach our altitude a little bit sooner. Okay. One to go. Radial altimeter 2,300. Okay. It's quite a low altitude, isn't it? So we're appearing on the approaching Nudix. Nose is coming up. I will gently increase the power. There you go. Let's try and get below 180 knots so we can get the approach flaps in a second. Okay. So let's allow it to do the DME arc. Excellent. Okay. Once we reach vertical, what I'm going to do is we'll put 335 soon at the top. Okay, cool. Perfectly perpendicular. Excellent. Now I'll go ahead and set 335. So now when I know that we're approaching it, I'll just change not to heading mode, we'll see. Pitch mode, there you go. Excellent. Following the arc beautifully. .2, 0.1 miles out, that's not a big deal. 160 knots, let's watch our airspeed. Following it beautifully, that's excellent. Right, we're probably going to have to cheat, because I don't want to go around and retry the approach. Let me just check the ATIS again. Okay, no difference. 400 meters visibility, 35 knots, gusting to 43. Okay, before landing, checks landing gear down and locked, speed brake retracted, flap handle, land with the anti-ice off, pressurization should check 0 delta P, and autopilot and yaw dampener off. Okay, that'll be before landing checks. And approach landing data confirmed, avionics supply instruments checked, minimum set, pack safety set, fuel transfer knob off, anti and de-icing system as required, anti-skid on, landing light on, CAS messages checked, and flaps not yet on the takeoff approach position, because we're too fast. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the arc now. Still not picking up the India Yankee Golf DME. Bit troublesome. Airspeed's changing quite a lot, which is not ideal, I have to say. Right, let's descend to 1,400. Okay. So as soon as we approach 158P, is that going to be a 1583? Oh. 153, that's different. Call it different things, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll switch very soon to the heading mode, and then we can change the CDI. Okay, let's arm approach mode. No. Stay there. Jeez. Alright. Didn't arm it, it went straight into it. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Okay, so 062, set, hold the heading, CDI, localizer, and approach mode. Excellent. Cool, so speed check, one set of flaps. Increase the power a wee bit. Okay, so let's turn now. 335. Let's check the altitude, guys. Airspeed as well. Okay. Yep. Airspeed is a bit low. Okay, so intercepting the localizer. Localizer's alive. Let's see. Yep. Same sort of stuff as we had before. Okay. Localizer captured. Right, so 80% will be good once we get the flaps in. So that'll give us to approximately LD, which is 150 knots. Okay. Excellent. Go away. Thank you. Okay, so it's 5.7 DME, which we still don't have here. It's amazing. We'll have to use this one, which is slightly off. Why don't we have the DME for the ILS? I don't understand. Oh well. Next time I can just leave GPS mode on. Noted. Oh, there was some of those gusts. Woo! Look at that. Talk about rough. Jeez Louise, that's some difficult weather to fly in. Oof. Well, this will be interesting. Okay then. Okay, so got localizer active, autopilot is active, yaw damper, altitude and glide slope is armed. Cool. Alright, we're back back in. Excellent. The winds are suddenly changed. So final approach fix is Pusod, which is right there. And we should get the glide slope moving relatively soon. Come on, there you go, glide slope alive. Speed check, gear down. Add a wee bit of power. Could have waited for the gear, but whatever. Okay, and speed check, flaps down. So we've got full flaps. Let's go ahead and turn off the anti-icing systems. Why aren't we descending? Okay, there we go. Slowly descending. Oof, overshot it a little bit. Look at that. He's struggling. There you go, good lad. Catching up. And established on the glide slope. And no DME distance on nav 1, so that makes it kind of pointless. Distance 5 should be 1170 roughly. Okay, so there you go, that works out. And we're checking that we're leaving altitude. Go around is 1,400 feet. Landing gear down and locked. Speed brakes retracted. Flap handle landing and anti-ice off. Pressurization check delta P close to 0. Autopilot and yaw dampener off when appropriate. Which will be, we'll say, 700 feet. Let the autopilot handle this for now because this is quite rough. And approach checklist and before landing checklists complete. Let's get a little bit of power in. Okay, VREF was 100 and VREF 94, so approach 100 knots. Okay, so we want to slow down. Cool. Disengaging autopilot. Oh, wrong button. Autopilot disengaged. Slow down, continue flying on the flight director. Slow down a wee bit more. Approaching minimums. We're gonna continue even if we don't see the runway. And yaw dampener off. Okay. Landing checks complete. Okay, slowing down nice and slowly, taking our time. Way up we go. Minimums. Okay, normally we'd go around. We're going to continue. Watch the altitude. Okay, there's a runway. Oof. Yeah. Oh dear. Kamikaze approach right there. Oh jeez. Oh, that's gonna be a rough landing. Oof, that wasn't very pleasant. Yeah, so really we would have gone to the alternate in real life. That was awesome. That was so much fun. Right. So we got a taxi to the end of the runway now. Great. Landing time, 23:45. That was intense. Come on. Keep moving. 23:45. So we were in the air for 1 hour 10. It's only 5 minutes extra. So really, not too bad. Alright, where's the autopilot? Let's turn off the flight director. Hey, look at that. Not bad at all. I wonder if I do this. Show me a chart of the airport. Nah. One can only wish. Always wish. Alright, we got 55 knots headwind. That's mental. Should really be a bit slower now. Almost rotate the nose. Look at that. Excellent. That was intense. Oh, that was crazy. Watch the airspeed. Alright, we'll do something we really shouldn't do, which is I'm going to get the flaps up on the runway so that we don't get any extra lift or anything. We landed in such a short distance. Surprised. Okay. Really crappy visibility. This was awesome. Man, that was so much fun. Alright. We're almost there. It's taken us 2 minutes on the runway so far. Put a little bit of aileron into wind. Okay. Approaching Alpha. Okay. Okay, we're not far now. Okay. There's a windsock, and right after the windsock is a taxiway, according to the chart. Slow down. I see Alpha. Nice gentle braking. Got a little bit of aileron into wind as we turn. More and more aileron. And there you go. Oops, too sudden. Clear the holding point. Runway vacated. and come to a nice and gentle stop. Parking brake on, FSC screen is going to appear. Your flight is logged. Thank you. Okay, after landing checks, flaps up selected. Speed brakes retracted, none required. Pedostatic switch off. Absolutely, I really should have done that sooner. Okay, cancel them. Caution. Windshield anti-ice, will leave them on, as the temperatures right now are minus 13 degrees Celsius. AP and autopilot, autopilot and yaw damper are off. Exterior lights is required. So, I just realized, put on normal. Don't know why that was on. Left the whole plate. Oops. And that's not what I want. I want this. So, add recognition lights and anti-call off. Okay, done. What else? After landing checks complete, so let's taxi back. Cool. Right. What an interesting flight. What a fantastic flight. That was great. Keep the laser on into winds. Next time I start a stream, I'll make sure the engine's off when I'm on the ground. Jeez. Right, where am I gonna park? Yeah, don't care. Some very bright lights. Taxi straight ahead. Where do we park? Right, I'll turn to the first on the right here. I really can't see anything. I don't know if I'm on a taxi line. I'm assuming I am. And there's the line. Oof, not bad at all. Cool, we'll just park here. And come to a lovely stop. Power idle. Parking brake set. Shutdown checks. Parking brake is set. Anti and de-icing systems should all be off. So off, 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 off. PAX safety switch. So that'll be off as well. Okay. Exterior lights. Wait, hold on. Doesn't talk about shutting down the engines. Huh. Right. Shut down the engines then. There you go. Let's continue with the checklist. Exterior lights all off. Beacon, nav, wing inspection, air conditioning, check off. Off. Flaps, takeoff approach. Covent cabin fans. This pull. Battery switch off. Avionics off. Standby instruments off. Right. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff missing out of my checklist. And there you go. That's the end of the flight. The light is still on. Why is the light still on? There you go. Battery's off. It shouldn't be on at all. And there you go. Let's go to hotspot. Amazing. We did it. That's great. That was awesome. We landed in some pretty hectic weather. Oh, I had great fun on this one. I had great fun. Hope my passengers did too. I wonder, can I move with this? Excellent. Let's go visit the cabin. Ooh. I went up instead of forwards. Look at that. That is one sweet cabin. It says we can get up to 5 passengers. I assume that's because we're doing single pilot operations. How do I go forwards like this? That's the toilet in it. Oh, look at this. What a luxury jet, I have to say. That is pretty sweet. I like this very much. Right, so instead of loading previous flight, what I'm going to do instead is save this flight. And hopefully that means... Ooh, wrong button. That all the switches and stuff a little bit there you go. That's awesome. Such a cool view. There you go. So there you go. That's it. That's us. We're done. 2 hours. Thanks for watching, if anyone ever did. Or if you're watching this after the event, thank you very much for clicking on this video.